Good morning and welcome to the Women's Nest. Today is January. Hello. Oh, shit. My watch died. Gonna have to. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. In my head, I said, oh, I'll put the charger in my pocket when I'm done with this, but let's be real, I would have forgot. So y'all had to wait like, I don't know, 15 seconds for me to get that. January 30th. Yes, it is. Okay. Imagine living in your head untrue to your heart. Imagine the pain of separation. Imagine the depth of the longing for peace. G. Carroll. Living in your head untrue to your heart. Oof. Before finding recovery as a way of life, many of us barely hung on from one pain-filled moment to another. We incessantly tried to figure out what was wrong with our lives. We feared everything. Our coworkers, our neighbors, the long days, the new experiences, the many strangers who crossed our paths. Miraculously, we were led to this program. Fearing everything. Like, I don't know if I feared everything, but I definitely lived a lot of my life in fear. Our coworkers. That's crazy that this memory just popped up. Oh, look who's finally... Hello, little lady. I had a coworker. She was one of us, but she didn't want to admit she was one of us. Not that I'm taking inventory, but like I was always so afraid of her. Afraid how she would respond to what I did, what I said. Oh, now I'm just thinking back on that, like, oof. And I used to fear certain times every day, and I'm not going to get too much into like why, but every day, this was a few years back, a little over, just about 3 years ago, 3 o'clock every day, I would get so fearful and nervous, and it like wreaked havoc on my body. Like I got physically sick every day at like 3 o'clock. You can wait a second. The ladies need me too. So yeah, we can experience the joy of peace each time we remember to turn our will and lives over to the care of our loving higher power. To receive this goodness, we need only an open heart and a willingness to listen to the guidance of our higher power. This guidance may come to us through a special passage in a book, through the words of a friend, or in other ways. If we believe that the guidance will come, we will hear it. I want to know God's will for me today. I will be attentive every moment. So we're going on the road, ladies, because someone needs to go outside. Road trip. So I've heard people say, like, you know, their God works through people, and I'm a big advocate for that, because people in my life have helped guide me into the right choices, and helped me walk away from the fear I may be experiencing at a particular point in my day. I do have to wrap this up because I gotta get to work. So, the guidance may come up through us through a special passage in a book. And it's so crazy it says that, and I don't know, maybe it says it for a reason, like, hey, buy more of our books. We're awesome people. or like the words in this book speak to me. And like I said, I started sharing it with, I think I'm up to like 50 women I text this to. Like, how freaking cool is that? And then a lot of, then the YouTube thing started, and I definitely am not sending it off to a ton of people that way. I did also start TikTok, which it's really weird for someone in their 40s to try to understand TikTok. But I'm very specific with what I'm sending on that too. And I've done a couple of these long forms over there. And so that's like another way to get, and I don't know who the hell's viewing that. That's another way to get the message out, the message of the passage in a book, right? Because sometimes that's all I need to guide me is just listening to other people's words. But in the beginning it says, imagine living in your head, untrue to your heart. Have you ever stayed in a relationship too long because your head says so, but your heart's like, no, sweetheart, you gotta move along. I know I have. The house that I'm in, I talked about that with Brianna, and just other people in general. Like, we saw like 2 houses in one day, and in my head I wanted that one, but in my heart I knew this was the one. And this house has been awesome, minus the furnace that went last week. But no, like, I'm joking, because that's life, right? That's stuff that happens. Guess what? You're a homeowner. Your furnace is going to go. You had over 25 years with that one, so count your blessings there, sweetheart. Relationships that I've stayed in too long because my head said stay, but my heart knew it wasn't true. And so I stayed untrue to my heart a lot. And I try to like stop now and like truly listen to my heart. So I'll end with this because it just popped in my head. So somewhere along the lines, the word faith was like kind of effing with me a little bit. And it was written in another book that I was borrowing for an hour, if you get my drift. And it said faith equals finding answers in the heart. Yeah, I'll say that again. Faith, Faith, finding answers in the heart. That's what faith is. Took dummy here to figure it out, or someone else to write it down for me to figure it out. But that's it. So let's have a little more faith today. All right. Take care. Talk soon.